Arknights Endfield is really exciting. This feels like a release that is very important to a lot of people, and I was grateful that Hyperglyph gave me the chance to take a listen to and play a little bit of the game ahead of schedule. Arknights is an IP that I have enjoyed very much, and to see it in this format with this Endfield factory building, strategic combat gameplay world is actually pretty amazing. Let's talk about some of the music and gameplay, shall we? So when we start the game, we enter in with this super cinematic approach to storytelling musically. We pick our gender, and we're thrust into this prologue experience.
Your fate isn't confined to one path.
What's amazing about this opening is that we have a ton of crunch and a ton of press in this sound. It showcases drama, tension.
Administrator.
It showcases how serious the circumstance is.
Originium is the pillar of life.
Right away, we get this fun, full, rich, classical repetition of movement with electric guitar. You can tell how much music and sound design play an important part of this experience because, as an example, as we get closer to this doorway, the music actually shifts and pulls away. Listen to this. You hear how as we enter into that field of flowers, what we actually get is this peaceful, almost religious feeling of rest. This moment is really important because in a state of confusion, we have no idea why we are where we are. And this music kind of settles us in after having that combat experience, which is really interesting. And it's fun because it showcases that there is a clear and important aspect in telling a story through music and experiencing the music and the gameplay simultaneously so that they're in perfect marriage and perfect harmony. The holiness, the arrival of breaking that Originium, suddenly to be met with this stunning character, by the way. What a cool design. That's amazing because it introduces a villain. It showcases that we are possibly in a position of loss or failure, and that this is deeply, deeply unsettling. Here we have this young girl in this bodysuit that is essentially that of a knight, a death knight no less, and out of nowhere it summons this giant monster with swords and daggers stabbed into it, a first fight. It's just exceptional how aggressive that is, and there's still this like grandeur, this sense of religiosity, this sense of stress, and it's quite compelling, I have to say. I was slack-jawed when I was playing this. My jaw was on the floor because it's one of these things where you suddenly feel scale and size. Not only that, but we're introduced to the combat style. We're introduced to the idea that our entire party is on the field with us, and as we do certain moves, their support moves also kick in, and we're allowed to connect with those on E. As you saw on the bottom right, each of your characters has their abilities that are on a countdown, and they'll aid you in battle when it's time for them to join in. They also have their own ultimates that also will prop up when they're ready, and it's a nice and interesting way to actually use your brain when thinking about combat because certain support abilities are triggered by doing certain move sets or moves or damage types. And that's really, really cool to me because it means that it's not just hit, 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 hit. There's actually a little bit of strategy involved to maximize potential damage. And then as you heard in the music with this fight with Erignis, there's a sense of grandeur, like I mentioned, a sense of fear, a sense of like, you are nothing, you are infinitesimal, you are small, you are weak, you are pathetic. There's an anger in this sound, and especially in the beginning with that slight crying sound with this almost like a toddler weeping. The fear in that instills is really incredible. And that continues on through this tutorial. This is near the end of the tutorial, and you feel this sense of dread and fear. And then we enter into the overworld, at least the first overworld that we get into. The music really fits this drab gray setting. Take a listen.
Wow, those landbreakers are giving us a show of force. It's rare to see LBs this arrogant.
Of the 3 major landbreaker clans, The Bone Crushers are the ones who actively respect violence. According to intel from the SOW, this clan has suddenly stopped their extended infighting and launched multiple raids on other minor factions. We don't have any further intel yet. The only thing we can confirm is that a leader has emerged and united the entire Bone Crusher clan.
When we start, we actually get this stunning vocal introduction to this very light soprano. There's a bit of chorus in the background as well. And you feel that in Valley 4, everything has been broken, everything's been lost, everything's been decayed and destroyed. And now we're kind of trying to start over and put the pieces of our lives back together, right? That's why we go down there. We go down there to protect and help and look for folks that can help us and continue our mission. And so there is this wonderful, somber, melancholic quality in that sound that is so beautiful. The thing is, this game really is beautiful. It remains to be seen how it lands. It remains to be seen how much I enjoy the factory building and the components of the strategy elements at play. I'm not necessarily sure that will be for me, but what I can tell you is that even just looking at this from a visual perspective, this is a beautiful game. This is a game that clearly a lot of love has been paid in the attention to details that I'll show you later. But I love the fact that even through all of this, we're choosing to use music that pays homage and also connects us to the world around us. Having a bleak soprano in the upper register, having like a gentle hum, really shows how broken and isolated this world is, where you don't feel safe, you don't feel like you're at peace, you don't feel like everything is going to be all right. But it's fascinating because then later on, and I don't want to spoil this too much, we get to Wuling City, and check this out. And then the sky parts, and we're left with this beauty. The thing is, this is the arrival of essentially a god, right? This is the arrival of someone with unbelievable power. There's a femininity, there's a sensitivity, there's a grace. And then when she strikes and hits the lightning, that's when we get the middle guitar, and we feel the sense of badassery, the sense of strength, the sense of capability, the sense of like being bigger than with our powers combined. There's a natural strength that we feel is embodied by that electric guitar when she's casting down these enemies, as seen here. Through all of that badassery, we don't lose the femininity in this character, which is really excellent, and that's where we get those vocals. Now, fast forwarding a little bit, as we move into the city itself, listen to how amazing this modification of traditional Chinese mixed in with some technology, and you'll see how this city is very advanced, but it's still rooted in a forest of bamboo. It's still rooted in its ancient traditions and so on and so forth. And I love this kind of stuff. And it's not the first time I've heard this, but this is definitely a really neat take on it. Take a listen to this.
Almost missed that.
I love this. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's amazing because even though it's a technologically advanced city, that it's still connected to, you know, the sort of metaphysical or the mystical. There's this balance there between traditional instrumentation mixed in with modern beats, lo-fi, you know, sort of a rhythm pattern that is very, very, very enjoyable to listen to. It's aesthetic, it's pleasing, kind of like the city itself, and really kind of like the entire freaking game, because the game is oozing with color and vibrancy and personality. It's very, very, very high polished, high quality. You can already tell. I have no idea how the story is going to go because I wasn't really paying attention for the story as I was paying attention to the music, so that I can enjoy the story at my own pace when the game actually launches. But there is something about this that I think is really, really well done, and an advancement in this style of game. I mean, this is a unique approach to have, and it's kind of a bold approach to have sim factory management stuff in this, mixed in with combat, mixed in with your traditional gacha structures. That does work, and it's very unique, and it's a bold take that, you know, I think will definitely find footing. And also, this will be a lot of people's first entry point into this factory style gameplay, which I think will be a huge boon to them, because this can also create a rabbit hole of exploring other factory games, which is really important too. And oftentimes I find that I'll play an open world anime game like this, and then I'll go and play another game, and I'll be like, wow, it's like I completely got my eyes open to the possibility of this type of genre. Enfield's systems are really integrated into this game, and I think that that's going to be really exciting for those of us that want to chew on something for a very long time. Look at how this oozes personality and character.
Here we are. Meet her at the top.
That's just entering into a building. It's ushering us into this palace, ushering us into this place of knowledge, ushering us into this place of worship, of this place of importance. And that's the introduction to that space. There's a depth to that you don't need. It goes above and beyond it, which is fascinating. The style, the expressiveness, it's visually beautiful. I mean, these are things that really make a game feel premium and make a game feel worth playing. On top of the great music that clearly accompanies the gameplay, you can mix and match playstyles. You can mix and match characters. At the start, you have 24 playable characters, 10 6-star operators, new areas to experience and explore. I'm really excited about it, to be honest. Again, though, I don't know. This is not necessarily my cup of tea, so I don't know how deep in the hole I'm going to end up. But what I can say is that I'm so impressed by the effort put forward. I mean, Arknights, the game before this that has the same name, is a tower defense game with chibi character designs. So to go from that to this is actually something that should be applauded regardless. I mean, it's crazy to go from tower defense to 3D real-time strategy RPG with a very complex, you know, factory industrial building system, whatever you want to call it. It's crazy. Definitely check out the pinned comment or the description if you want to grab it for yourself and try it out, and let me know what you think. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you later.